It's a pretty frigid December day in our nation's capital, but luckily for us, we have our heaters cranked all the way up here in the booth at Commanders Field. Just about set for football. Blake Groupie is ready to get us started. And off we go in our nation's capital. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Right away, they'll change the look. And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. The false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. Already here, they'll audible to something else. Throwing right away is Williams. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go now.
Now the first carry here for the running back. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Throwing is Williams. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Hands it off out of the gun. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
To throw, it's Williams. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. You talk about this Washington defense.
And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
And since this is such a good unit at covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
To the air, Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 22-yard line.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
On first down, Parsons.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's second and goal. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yes, now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. A great play there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the shotgun, it's May. There's a short one pulled in by Simmett.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And that will bring up second down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
This 2nd and 4. Now a handoff up the middle. Gibson. 7 yards there and a first down. With a lot of the media, Charles, ourselves included, starting to prep those MVP ballots, you wonder if last week's performance, which he admitted was not very good, if that hurt him at all coming down the stretch.
Less than 50 yards on the ground in last week's game that you referenced, and let's face it, if he has another game like that, we'll erase him from the MVP discussion. He won't even be talked about anymore. He has to bounce back with 100+ in this one in order to stay in that race.
Well, this defense for the Bears, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
To the air, May.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 43. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 43.
Let's go now. 19 Tigers, 70 range, 70 range. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Up the middle they go. Gibson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
79 Broncos.
Looking to throw. May. And his throw is incomplete. You look at this Bears defense. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
I don't know what the actual percentages are. I don't know the analytics on when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches have always told me, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%.
And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this will stay at a 7-point game. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, set this one off target.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. Now they'll change things around before the snap. Here's Williams. A short throw taken in by Long. Just a gain of a couple there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
3rd down and 6. Now a handoff up the middle. Parsons. And he will have the Bears first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Right back to him on 1st down. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9. To throw, Williams. All the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
Looking to throw is Williams.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense. And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll keep it on the ground. Gibson. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
From the gun on 3rd down is May. That is caught.
And he's got this down to the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
They'll run on 1st down. Gibson, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
2nd down and 8.
Now a give, right side. Gibson, and he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down.
Throwing here is May.
And that will be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
On 4th down, on his groupie to try the field goal.
On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be.
Now Williams throwing to start the drive.
A short throw taken in by Long.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's second down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Second down and 3.
Operating from the gun, Williams.
Got his man, and that's the rookie fourth-round pick.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Now they'll audible to something else.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He finds his man, complete. That's Long.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 44-yard line.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's 2nd and 10.
19, Tiger, 19. Here we go, here we go.
They'll keep it on the ground. Gibson. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
13 yards there at a Washington first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Up the middle they go. Gibson, and he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
10 yards there, good for a Washington first down.
Now a handoff up the middle. Gibson.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8.
Sack. 70 Lions.
Up the middle they go. Gibson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
51 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Here we go, sack. Viking 18.
They'll keep it on the ground. Gibson.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17.
12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. Offensive line right now really freeing up the rushing lanes on this drive.
And we have to give them props. They've earned them. But these big runs that we're seeing, they don't result without everyone else being involved as well. Blocking on the perimeter has to take place downfield, too.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
They'll try the left side. Gibson. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. His 25th touchdown, tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season.
And the Commanders have taken the lead here in this third quarter. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. And 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have retaken a third-quarter lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the third quarter. Now they relinquished that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right? Where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play that changes that maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
Here's 2nd and 7. To throw, it's May. There's a short one pulled in by Simmett. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
In motion, the tight end.
On first down, Gibson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Here we go.
Here's May. There's a short one pulled in by Simmett.
So the completion good for 7 there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Third and 5. They'll throw with May. Here's Tucker, complete on the right side.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Back now at Commanders Field. It's the Commanders in possession of the football, but they trail as we start this fourth quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Gibson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
91 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Here we go, Shaq.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal.
And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders.
A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Commanders answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. The point after, good by Groupie.
And it's now 17-14.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter.
Throwing to start the drive. Williams.
He'll get this into the hands of Adunze.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 6. And now they'll shift things around. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
They'll keep it on the ground. Parsons. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Williams now from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
That was for the lead right there. They know they're in a position where fortune favors the brave. So they took their shot, but couldn't connect.
Hard to catch your breath. Another big play looming. 4th and 3. They'll go. Here's Williams. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down.
A gain of 22 yards. First down.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here.
18 Cardinals, 18 Cardinals.
Operating from the gun, Williams. He finds his man, complete. It's Parsons. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Nothing open downfield, they went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back, see if you can make someone miss in the open field.
Here comes 2nd down at 5.
Now again, right side, Parsons.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
A big play here. Crowd on their feet. 3rd and 4.
He's back to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game.
Second down, 8 yards to go. They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Commanders have just about sewn up this football game. Just when you thought this game might be turned on its ear, a late interception pretty much going to seal the deal.
Yeah, boy, talk about having your backs to the wall. This defense, they look like they were in danger of surrendering this lead, but they knew they needed that one play. And they got it right there, partner.
Washington about to close this one out as they are down to a knee. So a victory here for the Commanders.
And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Commanders, they improved their mark to 12-4 with one game to go.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com.
The Commanders pick up the victory as